set my heart afire.
Hey, 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 it's Shellsp0nge. Welcome back to another stream. How you been? Have you been well? Today we are doing a tank review on the Kampfpanzer 07RH. This is the current challenge that Wargaming is doing. So all you need to do is hit that bottom right icon picture and it'll take you to this screen, and it's the crystal challenge that we are doing. So this crystal challenge is the same as all other challenges. If you want to get the tank for free, then you've got to complete every single stage, and it will take 10% off on your purchase price on your premium shop. However, again, if like I said, if you can get this tank for free if you complete all the way up to tier 10, and your reward will be the Kampfpanzer 07. To do this, you'll need to do either stage A or B. A is a little harder, so you've actually got to, like, say for instance, for stage 1, to complete that, you need to earn 750 points of base experience in a single game at tier 9 or 10. Or B, you get 3,000 base experience over a period of games between tier 6 and tier 10. Just to warn you, that base experience, so if you complete that one and you go to the next stage, you go back to 0 and you have to start that grind all over again. Right, but this, I am not talking about the marathon or these quests, I am talking about the tank. So this tank, I will be going over statistics of it, I'll be going over equipment, and I'll tell you my thoughts on it. And then afterwards, I will be showing you a replay that honestly, I can't say is the best, but it's my best game I've had in the tank. And you'll understand why once I go over the statistics of it. Alright, without any further ado, let's head over and do the statistics. Okay, so here we are on tanks.gg. So the Kampfpanzer 07 has a 2,503 damage per minute. Does an average of 200 damage per shot, which is quite hard to play at tier 8, to be completely honest with you. Penetration of 205, again, I find that a challenge, especially when you're meeting tier 10s, you're finding yourself having to load that gold quite often. This tank has a 4.79 second reload with just 100% crew and no food or equipment. Rate of fire is 12.52 rounds a minute. Has a 1.44 aim time, 0.34 dispersion, and when moving, the gun is still quite accurate as well, with 0.3 moving, 0.13 tank traverse, and 0.10 turret traverse. It has a 90mm gun. Shell velocity is 162 meters per second. That kind of hurts a little bit, as you have to give yourself a lot of lead to actually hit those shots, or make sure you have a lot of time when you go to fire. It does carry 80 rounds of ammo, which is quite nice, especially when it allows you to mix up your rounds up a little bit. The rounds, speaking of the rounds, these rounds is AP, heat, and HE. Heat goes up to 255 mils penetration, and HE goes up to 90 mils of penetration, which is actually quite nice for HE round, especially when you're going up against a Brask or any of those lighter mediums and light tanks. Mobility, this tank does 65 k's an hour, and 25 in reverse. It has a nice 700 horsepower engine, and it only weighs 23.33 it has a 23.33 horsepower per ton. So it gets up to that 65 k's an hour quite quickly. Terrain resistances is actually quite nice. So this, if you really want to test out the soft, hard, medium terrain, this is actually a good, on the maps, this is actually a good tank to actually do so, because you can actually see the differences of actually moving. Gun elevation is 15 degrees. Gun depression is 9 degrees, which is not bad. Full 180 degrees turret. Everything else. Okay, so the armor on this thing, honestly, I find this quite trolly. So it has 115 mils at the front of the hull. So the hull, uh, it has 75 on the side and 25 on the rear. 75 on the side, which is quite nice. So you can actually side scrape against some of those lower caliber heavies. I think just tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think you can side scrape up to 110 mils of armor penetration, millimeter gun. You know what I mean. It has, and this is where things can be good and bad in some ways. So it's 80 mils of turrets up front, 60 side, 60 rear. However, if we go back to the 3D model, go to visual, it is, besides the low, it is actually quite a small turret, especially when you, I'll get this right, especially when you are using that gun depression. Just imagine I have something, I've reached something just there. Like, just that is not much to shoot at all, right? Health, it does have 1350 health, which is not bad, but not great either. It has a 390 meters view range, which is quite nice with just 100% crew and no equipment, like I said. Now, if I go up to a comparison, so DPM is better than the Panther 2 and the Indian Panzer, and I did add the Object 274A as it was the last marathon. But it's slightly worse than the Panther 88. Obviously, the penetration, it's, like I said, it is lackluster. It is not as bad as the Panther 88, but the Panther 2 Indian Panzer and 274A just blows it out of the sky with that. The damage, again, in this comparison, every other tank in this comparison blows it away, including the Panther 88. And personally, I'd probably play the Panther 88 over the the Kampfpanzer 07 due to extra penetration. Okay, can't say extra penetration, but extra damage per shot, and at least it's close to the same rate of fire. Yes, it is slightly worse, but that's just in my opinion. So the reload is quicker than every tank in this comparison. Shell velocity, it is slower in this comparison, not much slower of the Indian Panzer or the Panther 88, but like I said, you will definitely notice that difference. Gun handling, it is better aim time than any tank, but the dispersion is slightly worse than the Panther 88, the Panther 2, and the Indian Panzer. But it is a little bit better than the 274A. Gun depression, it is better than the Panther 88, the Panther 2, and the 274A, but the Indian Panzer beats it with 10 degrees of gun depression. Forward speed, it runs laps around the Panther 88, followed closely by the Panther 2, Indian Panzer, and the 274A. Reverse speed, it beats any other tank again. Weight, it is the lightest tank in this comparison at only 30 tons. It has a better power to weight ratio, and it has better terrain resistances apart from soft. a Panther 88, Panther 2, and the 274A beats it on the soft terrain. Armor, it has better hull armor, better side armor, slightly worse rear armor than the Panther 88, the Panther 2, Indian Panzer 274A. Indian Panzer beats it on the side armor, but like I said, 75 mils of side armor allows you to side scrape a little bit more. Turret armor, it has worse turret armor than any tank in this comparison, apart from, that's interesting, a zero on the side of a Panther 2. Apart from the Panther 88 and the Panther 2, which both have 60 side, or should have 60 side, 60 rear. It's got slightly worse health than the Panther 88 and the Panther 2, but it has better health than the Indian Panther and the 274A. View range. It has the same view range for the Panther 88, Panther 2, and the 274A, but slightly worse than the Indian Panzer. Alright, thoughts on this tank? Well, statistically, honestly, I'd played the Panther 88 over the Cannon yet. I've done it again, the Kampfpanzer 07. Due to the lack of damage, the lack of shell velocity, and I possibly would say lack of health, in my opinion. And slightly worse DPM of it, so that extra DPM does actually help with the lackluster of 2 mils of penetration between the difference of these tanks. However, the Kampfpanzer 07, can't say it's that bad of a tank. Alright, what equipment would I pick? Back to water tanks, the equipment I would pick is vents, improved rotation mechanism, and coated optics. Some people would, if they have a pretty decent crew, they'll probably drop the coated optics and possibly add something like a V-stabs or a rammer to make that DPM extra better or something like that. Alright. Obviously the repair kits, and yeah, I like the food. I haven't actually changed this myself. I was meant to load a little bit more heat, as I do find that you are loading that heat quite often with the AP, like I said, with 205 mils of penetration on the AP shells. You do kind of find it quite struggling. Alright, without any further ado, I'm going to take you to the replay that I have, probably the best game I've had in the tank so far in. So I do not do commentary in that. I hope you enjoy it. Just to give you a bit of a warning, it is a bit of a slow replay, but it gets there, right? Alright, I will see you in the post-game stats. everybody, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that replay. Like I said, it wasn't the best or it wasn't the quickest. I was having a bad runs, and as you can see, I was possibly not playing the best I could possibly do. Alright, so for that game, I did manage to get a first class, got a bruiser, got a fighter, fire for effect, and I did get the one I can never pronounce, the Levers a Haso medal. I'll give it a go just for you guys. Alright, I did manage to do 2,188 damage, which is 4th on the team, but I did get top experience with 1,090. I fired 21 shots, 17 hits, 13 pen. I guess I got lucky with the pen, considering with what I said about in the tank review. Like I said, 2188 damage, 1287 of that was more than 300 meters. Blocks by armor 360 was actually a premium round from that Barask at the start if you didn't see that. So I only done 438 assistant, but I came out the game with 49,595 credits and 45,524 after tax. I got 8,339 experience for that game. So I want to thank you all for watching this video, and please hit that like and subscribe button, it does help. I will be trying my best to do more of these in the future. I am also planning to do like a WTF series, but I need replays sent in. I will be adding my Discord name to the description, so you send in those replays to me that way. Alright, again, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day, night, whatever time it is for you. And please also leave some feedback in the comments.